Hello and welcome to another one of these ADD videos. Today we're going to be looking at the concept of the disk method. What is the disk method? Well, the disk method is another application of integration that allows us to find volume. And the scenario in which we use it is if we're rotating a two-dimensional object around an axis, X or Y axis, then you can use the disk method provided that there's no hole in your object. I'll show you what I mean in one of the example videos. All right, so when you're rotating about an axis and there's no hole, then you're going to use the disk method. Okay, if there's a hole, you're going to use something called the washer method, and that has its own video. Don't worry about that. We're just getting started. So whether we're rotating about the X or the Y axis, we're going to be applying some version of this formula where you integrate from the intersection points of your region that form your region. In this case, the bounds have to be x equals values. And this rx squared. Well, what is rx? Well, rx is the outer boundary of the 3D shape minus the inner boundary. Okay? And the outer boundary will tend to be the top if we're doing a rotation around the x-axis or any other horizontal line. The top function will be the outer boundary. The bottom function will be the inner boundary. Okay? And then when you rotate it, they switch to outer and inner respectively. So what you have to keep in mind is that this is for any horizontal line, whether it's the x-axis. If you remember, the x-axis is always y equals 0, no matter where you are on the x-axis, so that's its number. But it could also apply for y equals 1, or y equals 2, or negative 4, whatever you're rotating about. And again, if we're rotating about the y-axis or any vertical line, you're going to make sure to change the y values for your bounds of integration. So now this would have to be whatever the corresponding y values are. And then your r of x now becomes an r of y squared, where the outer and the inner are formed by y equations here. Okay? So that's basically it. I don't want to delve too much into the concept. I want to introduce the formula, what big R stands for, and then you'll see a few example videos to clarify things, okay? The best way to approach this is just do a few, and then you'll know when to use which method, because there's going to be the disk method, the washer method, and the shell method, okay? So I hope I've clarified things enough for you to practice a few problems. Thank you, and have a nice day.